Hiya, and welcome back to Distant Travels. Sorry for the, quick cutoff yesterday. There was some stuff that I had to take care of. It's all taken care of, by the way. Much to say, so let's just hop right in where we left off. Safe is a strong word. Well, there's no physical damage, but there can be some strong reactions. Maybe I'm a little too calm then. It is. I'll make sure everything goes as planned and you'll be safe, Alex. I'll be alright. Some even experience hallucinations. I feel like it's going to be awful because there's a lot of skipping that we can do. I'm going to go and make sure everyone's fine. John, I'd like you to investigate why none of our alerts warned us against the Spectre. You can start tomorrow, but it'd be preferable if you could look into it as soon as possible. There might be something wrong with one of our systems. I'll look into it right away. This all seems so serious. You can't shake that feeling that this is something far beyond what you're useful for. John turns to you and pulls you into a warm hug. Let me know if you feel uncomfortable and I'll be there, alright? A big softy. Yep. But it's nice to be so cared for. Feels like it's been a long time since... You hug him back, and he holds you for a few more seconds. Hang on, I forgot to bring up the performance window. I swear I have to have this thing up so I can tell when the stream's going to die. I will. You're going to have to let me go, though, or you won't be able to go work. Since I can't carry you all the way and work like this. He lets you go with a smile. Too much? Just enough, really. But you're not going to tell him that. Not yet. Are you always this hands-on with your new colleagues? Only the ones I like. Alright, I should get to work. Want me to walk you back to your room? You can stay here with me if you'd like, Alex. It might be good to relax a little. It's not an easy experience to get hit by a specter for the first time. I'll talk you through it. John looks at you and raises an eyebrow inquisitively. He has more important things to do, right? It'd be nice to hear a little more about these things. And it'll be interesting to talk to Rex a little. Rex smiles at you. I'll be off then. Take care. With that, John turns around and leaves with speed that betrays a purpose. Mike gives you a wave as he heads out a door near the elevator. Are we too calm, or do we wish we stayed home? A little too calm. Yeah, now there's going to be a lot of skipping. The hug John gave me was nice. Unexpected, but nice. He really is a big softy. A big, handsome softy. As you finish up, Bruce walks in, closely followed by Charles and John. Charles just smiles at you. Hey, yo? John looks pretty tired. I wonder if he got any sleep. Good morning, handsome. Good morning, Alex. Good morning. Boy Wonder and his companion again? Everything alright since yesterday? All good here. Max has a stalwart expression on his face. I'm alright. There wasn't really that much for me to think about. Not the welcome to the Firefly we expected to give you, Alex. I plan to make up for that today. I guess I'm weird, but after being told what it was, it doesn't scare me that much. Logical thinking would deem that the case. I guess it's not too bad if you don't have all that many memories of other specters. It adds on itself, really. You're not weird, Alex. Let me guess. Not weird, just cute. Exactly. Did he just... Is that a fucking emoji? Or Discord? What the fuck is that? What is that? Hang on. Let me try changing the font, see if that does anything. Because like, I am like confused. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking confused right now. Because, like, typically, I don't know if that's normal. Did you want to join me in my workshop today, Alex? It'd be a pleasure to have you. That sounds nice. And here I thought I would finally have a chance to properly get to know him. You know, there's time enough to do both of you. Do both of us, eh? You know what I meant, dirty old man. I'm not that old. But you are dirty. It's settled then. You can hang out with me for now and join John later. That'll give John some time to catch up on sleep as well, although he'll never admit he needs it. Lies and slander. I never say no to a good nap when offered the chance. Fuck. Jokes aside, there's always something that needs doing in the greenhouse, but no pressure. He looks up to you as if waiting for a response. It'd be a good start, and an introduction to how things are done more practically. That sounds good. Then when do I start? I'll be going for a workout after breakfast. Just drop by the gym in an hour or so and I'll show you the ropes. I could go for a workout. Maybe I'll get started right away if that's alright. He smiles. I'll see you there then. I'll come pick you up later then, Alex. John? Yes, Max? You don't need to dote on him. He's an adult, you know. Pretty sure he can manage his way to you on his own. John visibly blushes at that. You didn't really think it possible to seem this flustered. Sorry, just drop by whenever is good for you. It's a plan. That's fucking hilarious. Dragon. Maybe I'll cook something for everyone soon. John wanted me to make pizza sometime soon. I should make some for everyone when I do that. Oh? The sooner the better. Everyone who's tried it seem wild about it. That sounds interesting. I'll be looking forward to it. Rex smiles as you analyze him a little. We'll just go with John again. No, I wouldn't say strange, just interesting. Perhaps now would be a good time to visit John. Most definitely. You haven't really had time to see him properly since you came to the Firefly, and a good break wouldn't be bad. It's been quite an intense time. Check your communication band to see if you can call or send John a message. Takes you a minute, but eventually you figure out how to call someone. It's a sequence of holding down one of the buttons and saying their name. He answers almost immediately. Why does it suddenly feel awkward to have called him? Well, no going back now. To what do I owe the pleasure? To have the most handsome man aboard the Firefly call me at this hour. Well, that certainly makes it less awkward. Or more, depending on how you look at it. Flirting already? It's a full-time job. Unlike being an engineer. Isn't that supposed to be even more of a full-time job aboard a spaceship? Not if you do it right. How are you doing, handsome? I'm alright. Everyone's quite intense, though. I was wondering if it would be alright for me to come see your part of the Firefly. If you're not too busy. Straightforward. People are rubbing off on you. Well, not that kind of rubbing off. You're incurable. I'm in engineering. If you want to drop by, perhaps I could convince you to express your creativity a little. I'll be right there, then. I'll prepare the rose petals. I hope not. That might be a bit much. Then how about we save them for later? I'll just have to show you I like you some other way, then. Remains to see just how much he likes you. You better not disappoint with those kinds of promises. Oh, I always deliver. See you soon. With that, he ends the call. You make your way to engineering and knock softly on the door. As you enter the room, it's not too unlike any workshop you'd imagine. Perhaps not as dirty, but there's just as many tools and blueprints spread out, as well as a variety of electronical components, a few monitors filled with graphs and the like. John greets you with a smile. Welcome to engineering. He slowly walks around the room as you just stand inside the door. He motions over everything and nothing in particular all at once. It's as if he's showing off his pride. His toy collection, really. It's probably the most useful place on the ship, as well as the most relaxed one if you ask me. His smile is as broad as it can be. It's like he has an odd on-off switch, awkward and anxious, or proud and loud. So how has your day been? Are you feeling a little more at home yet? I'm warming up to it. Spending time with Bruce today definitely helped make it feel more grounded. Everyone is friendly. Gerald seems a little rough, but it feels like it's just because he cares a lot. The only thing that has been somewhat different is Rex. He does that, doesn't he? He's really interested in humanity. Probably doubly since that's his job at the moment. Did he ask you something weird? Not so much weird, he just seems a little focused on my opinion specifically. If he wants to know humanity, he'd probably be better off just studying history, reading famous literature and the like. My opinion is just me. He probably just wants to get to know you, as well as study humanity. You're hot stuff. Sorry, I'm not good at this. Honestly, I thought you'd have run away by now, with how bad my flirting is. An awkward silence fills the air. It shouldn't be so awkward. Hey, yo! Sorry, my dog was dreaming. And he's adorable. You like him, and clearly he likes you. Hang on. Sometimes it's like you're just done with anxiety and insecurities fucking with you. Fuck it. So, did you want to make some pizza? I'm not one to say no to food, but right after dinner might not be the best time. There's some more awkward silence. Strangely enough, it almost reminds you of home. There's awkward times when you say something weird or do something odd. But this time, I'm not the one who made it awkward. Not really. Wait, is that a euphemism? Not that John meant to make it awkward, right? Nope. Oh, let's go then. To clarify, I'm not saying we should eat again. Pizza dough is best made the day before. So we could make the dough today and the actual pizza tomorrow or the day after. When the road leads to pizza, I trust the GPS. Lead the way. Here, I thought you were going to show me around. It's nice to switch it up from time to time. It's hard to tell when he's serious or when he's flirty. Perhaps he's both all the time? With that, John leads you out of engineering and the two of you walk leisurely to the canteen. You make a little small talk along the way, mostly just about how your day has been in more detail. Seems like while John and Bruce get along, they don't really interact a lot. John seems to get along the most with Gerald and with Max, despite them being such opposing forces. Still, all in all, they all get along. You arrive at the canteen, and John helps you bring out the ingredients you had brought with you from Earth. Oh my god, it's the moth! It's Wooden Toaster! Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game. Go play. Hang on, I need to, figure out how to crop this. Transform. Fuck, how do I do that? I don't know, let me just, Hey now, you're a rock star, get your game on, go play. But no, you cannot tell me that... I'm serious, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If no one else here remembers Wooden Toaster, I will consider myself a fucking boomer. At my very... not very, I don't know. I don't know how you would consider at my young age, I will consider myself a fucking boomer if none of you remember Wooden Toaster. I will consider myself a fucking boomer. Eventually, you have everything you need laid out in order, and after bringing up a recipe for pizza dough you saved. John follows your instructions to order, and eventually a few other crewmates join you in the canteen to watch and talk. Sheila's there, Max shows up to be rowdy as ever, and Gerald sits reading what you assume to be the paper on a tablet while listening in on your conversations. You know, this is more straightforward than what I imagined. Seems like a staple for Earth, sharing recipes and ideas. I bet you'd love it, Gerald. You should visit if you ever get the chance. Gerald just responds with a grunt. Oh, tell me more about it. Earth. Is this how humans are? Well, kind of. There's a sudden pause as everyone is watching you try and formulate your words. Flashback to being the new kid in class. Well, generally, once someone has invented something, someone or they themselves will come along and try and make it available to more people in some form. Kind of like sharing something, eh? Communism, was it? Marxist, perhaps. Or, well, not exactly. It's more like capitalism. If they trademark it and make it available to others, more people can buy it, and then they, of course, earn more money from it. Well, not really. Fuck. How do I explain this properly? So you would have to pay someone for their recipe of pizza dough? No, sorry, it was a bad explanation. Doesn't fully work like that for stuff like recipes and whatnot that aren't really enforceable. But it does explain how some people work, and why even those who don't generally want to share end up sharing. Of course, there are people who just share stuff for the greater good of everyone, and even because they want to see what others can do with what they started. Everyone's watching you intently. Sorry, I'm not good at explaining these things. Half of that is wrong, really. Well, it makes sense to me, who's quite an expert on humans. Oh, you're an expert now, Squirt. I have a lot of expertise on Earth, more than almost everyone on Arctos. He's not wrong. I'm the expertliest. Somehow it feels wrong, though. Thanks for sharing some of your insights on humanity, Alex. Arctos is a little more... Marxist? That, almost. The people, at least, not so much the government. Hear what sounds like a groan from Gerald, as Sheila seems to have pushed her elbow into his ribs. Let's not sour an interesting evening with politics. Once again, Gerald first responds with a grunt and seemingly returns to his reading. It's an interesting evening. Thanks for showing us a bit of your culture. That's better. That's sir to you, woman. They look so comfortable with each other, smiling as they're bickering. So that should be it for making the dough, I think. He adds looking over to you for confirmation. Almost. Just gotta cut it into smaller parts and let it rise so it's ready tomorrow. It looks like it'll deflate in a second. Kind of like how John's belly would if you poked it with something sharp. Oh, so you want to poke me? I thought you only liked girls. Keep your flirting limited to Alex, thank you very much. Rumor has it he likes it. For a second, John looks totally stumped. Looks like he didn't expect the teasing to turn around on him. You and Sheila start laughing at about the same time. Gerald swiftly follows with a deep rumble. To bring the fucking thing back up. Performance window. I need it. I need the window. I need the performance window. Surprisingly, John even lets out a chuckle as Max just stands there looking surprised his comeback worked as well as it did. Be careful, John. If you keep showing your personality, he might actually get to know you. Speaking of, should we leave the true lovebirds alone? You should, Max. In more than one sense. I don't know Alex yet, but you're dangerously close to harassing him while teasing John. Sorry. Speaking of harassing, is John making you uncomfortable, Alex? I know from experience that it might not be that easy to say no, but if you need to, let someone know and we'll talk to him. Gerald looks up towards you. You should know that you're completely safe among us. If someone makes you uncomfortable, let someone know. Everyone knows you're here to help us, and we'll damn sure remember it. That's good to know, but to be honest, I like it. I'm strong enough to tell them no myself, if need be. But, thank you. Suddenly, Gerald clears his throat quite loudly. Heard you brought along movies and culture from Earth? He did! There's even documentaries. I'd be interested in that. Can you show me some sometime? There's probably even someone Marxist. Marx? In there? Probably not, but Max gets visibly excited and practically drags Gerald along. You'll love it. There's literally a whole new world to discover at the tip of your fingers. Until later then, John, Sheila, Alex. He follows Max out of the room at a much slower pace, even though you can hear Max still explaining all about his expertise in Earth culture as they exit the room. Sheila simply gives you a wink and closes the door behind her, leaving you and John in the canteen. That was interesting. They're home. They're family, rowdy as they are. I hope they didn't make you uncomfortable. He states it more as a question than a statement. Not more than my own friends would, really. I'm glad. Welcome to the Firefly. You asked what my life on the Firefly was like before. This and cozy evenings is what my part of it is, mostly. So, what do you think? It's nice. Reminds me of home, but more cozy family in a way. Thinking back, it really is similar, but John seems closer to his friends than I ever was to anyone back home. Well, thinking a little more, maybe Julia would beg to differ. John looks at his watch and scratches the back of his head with his other hand. If you want, we still have time to clean up here and then watch a movie. An Arctonian one, or are you thinking of us joining Max and Gerald? I was thinking something more personal. John moves close to you and puts his hand under your chin, pointing your face up towards his. May I? Why not? You're single and he's interesting. Might as well see how it is. You quietly answer him. Yeah. He closes his eyes as his mouth touches yours. It's a slow kiss. Oh my god. Hang on. I think you all know what this is going.
My heart, my big gay heart. My heart. My big gay heart.
What the hell? Damn cat. Actually, I'm kind of curious what it'll sound like even slow. Oh no, that's as slow as it'll go. Let's still hear it.
My heart. My big gay heart.
Hi, welcome to whatever this is. His mustache tickles your lip a little, but the feeling of his lips on yours make up for it. He's not touching you other than the hand under your chin and his lips on yours. Deliberately, he kisses you again and again, taking new strength for every moment you connect. You all but melt into his kiss, being all but a passive recipient. With how intense he is, it feels like the right thing to do. It lasts for what feels like minutes, but in reality probably is a lot less. Eventually, he releases you from the kiss. Your lips feel wet and you feel a little colder having let go. You're a good kisser. That was nice. No regrets then? No regrets. Yet. So, the movie. How about you pick? I got a few in my library. He pauses then adds, I'm sure there'll be something you like. In your words, lead the way. The two of you clean up after yourselves. It was more than you'd imagine. Somehow, it seems that John had managed to get flour literally everywhere possible. Eventually, you find yourself in John's quarters. They're quite spacious. He seems to have it quite cozy, despite being fairly minimalistic. He shows you to a computer terminal and brings up what looks like a library of movies. Any recommendations? Any specific genre? Personally, any older action is up there, but it doesn't really seem like a good date option. This isn't like most dates I've ever been to. Definitely not like with my ex. Fuck, I shouldn't compare this to that. It's not even remotely the same. Maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself because of how forward he always is. What do you think is a good date option then? I'm about to be annoying and say go with your gut. Unless you'd like to watch a porno. Oh my god. You never miss a beat, do you? You said it doesn't bother you, but I get the feeling it might be a little too much. I don't completely know, honestly. You're very forward with what you want, and while it's not necessarily bad, it might get a tad much. It's also a bit weird. Oh. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, the attention is nice, and you're hot. Oh? What scares me a little is that in my experience, a relationship built on sex doesn't ever get more intimate. But then again, we don't even know if we'd work like that, you know? I'm having a lot of fun experiencing, well, you. Making pizza, watching movies, visiting your workshop, so it's a two-way street, so to say. I agree, kind of, but I promise I don't intend to just be a horny machine. It might seem like I have a one-track mind, but in reality I think my mind just does everything at once. I'd like to be your best friend, and I'd like to indulge a few more carnal desires while we're at it. There's a moment of silence as you mull over things. It's true that your relationship with John has been on quite a direct path to something more direct. It's worth considering. Maybe I'll have to try it. I'll let you know if I figure out what I want. Great. Now what movie did you pick? Well, no porno. Sorry. How about... Your eyes glance over the titles until it sticks on one that has an enticing cover. It's a man that appears to be in deep thought, clutching what looks like a dog tag. The name also fits well. Home seems to be an important concept to John. Well, that and sex. This one, romance? A place to call home? Good choice. Romance, comedy, and even some drama. Reading through the description some more. It even seems to be centered around male relationships. I don't remember all of it, but I remember laughing and crying all at once while watching this one. You start it up, I'll get everything comfortable. You look over your shoulder and see John preparing the couch in his room with blankets and a pillow to one side. Afterward, he moves over to a panel on the wall and the ventilation slows down audibly. John sees you glance over. Making the room a little warmer. Can't have you freezing for the entire movie. I figured you could just hug me and I could steal some of your warmth. With that, John pushes a few more buttons on the panel, and the vents speed up, making loud noise. Perfect. You let out a chuckle as he restores the ventilation to a slow and silent speed. You turn your attention to the screen in front of you and start the movie. The GUI asks for an output, and you select what seems to be John's cabin from the list. John's Throne of Trouble, huh? Seems like everyone has personalized names for their cabins, except you. Some even seem freshly updated, like the Zoomer's Retrieve. Oh my god. This is amazing. As the movie starts, John pulls his shirt off and sits down next to you. As you ponder whether to flirt a little or ignore it, he pulls up a blanket and throws you over your shoulders. Aww. I'll heat up in a bit. I'm just getting comfortable. It's not that cold. With him giving you a show of his own, you're not about to tell him that. And once again, letting someone else pamper you once in a while is nice. John was right about the movie. While it may not have been the strongest start, within an hour, you've both laughed and been on the verge of tears. There's even an adult scene. You spot John glancing over at you as it plays, and once the movie reaches a heartfelt breaking point, John puts his arm around you and pulls you closer. He smells nice, almost a little flowery. I don't know what shampoo he uses. I bet he uses a lot of it, being that fuzzy. Maybe that's just how he smells? But then again, Arctonians aren't that different from humans. Maybe if things keep going this way, I'll get to see him shower soon enough. Wait, what? I wonder if he'd be into that. Then again, he seems very open. As you come out of your daydream, you notice John looking at you. What are you thinking about? Should we change the movie? No, I was just blanking out a bit. The movie is great. It's really catching. It follows some story principles for movies back home. Our worlds really are similar. Sounds interesting. Like what? Chekhov's gun, for example, is the idea that any specific element in a movie, such as a gun, has to be relevant to the plot. So the idea is that once a character shows that they have a gun, it must be used before the movie is over. The gun in this movie being the feral drug. It makes sense in a way, to make the story more approachable, I guess. You think it's a good way to tell a story? I like it, but being aware of the idea also makes me want it not to be relevant. I don't want to know the movie ends at the start, just because someone shows a gun or an idea. Although if souls can be entangled with quantum entanglement, I wouldn't mind that. It'd mean that there's someone out there, just for me. I don't think I mind being able to guess where the story goes. It might still surprise me. Hey. John looks you in the eye with a questioning look on his face. Do you think the idea applies to attraction as well? As in, if the attraction is there, something must be done with it eventually. You mean between you and I? A perfect example. If the idea applies to it, we should do something about it. Talk about it, or just do it. John suddenly flexes his biceps for you. Don't think I haven't seen you check off these guns. Funny joke. You really never disappoint. An intense question like that, and immediately one of the worst jokes I've ever heard. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Casual is good. I'm not sure I'm all into casual sex. Casual sex implies the existence of competitive sex. He's right in the fact that there's nothing really stopping us from building a relationship and being open about It's just a bit new to me. But then again, sorry, I should stop. Even I know this is a bit much and far too lewd. You shouldn't feel harassed by anyone here. No, that's not it. He's made it about as clear as day what his intentions are, and he's asking you out loud. What's left to decide is if you're as interested as he is, or if you'd rather take it slow or even shut him down completely. Okay. That's disabled. I'm not quite there yet. I'm not that far away, though. Maybe I can indulge myself just a little. But if you give me flex, I'll give you a kiss. A casual kiss? I'm not a casual kisser either. Oh, what kind of kissing do you do? If I get to pick, I'll go for a sensual one. Well then, Mr. Tease. We'll just have to see depending on how good you are at flexing. Teasing it is. John gets up and walks a few steps away from you before turning around, facing his back to you. Don't challenge the master at his own game. I feel like I should, hide the screen a little because scared. You can't help but feel like you got a little more than you bargained for. Your thought was to be a little playful, but don't challenge the master at his own game. Now then. John raises his hands to his chest and then pulls his elbows right back, flexing his shoulder and back muscles. It's clear that he carries a lot of muscle. He stretches his hands above his head and lets out a yawn as he stretches out his back while turning to face you. I wish I knew what muscle group made your wheels turn, so to say. But since I don't, He's certainly not shy, but I already knew that. And he definitely liked showing off. An honest exhibitionist. Interesting. Everyone on the Firefly seems aware and accepting, really. Maybe it's an Arctonian thing? John did mention that bi or pansexuality is more of a common thing there. You just like who you like. Although they do tease John a little about how forward he is. They're probably just accepting people. Which is good, really, seeing as I'm not even Arctonian. John's voice nudges you away from your thoughts. Now, about that kiss. Did I miss the flex? Oh well, it was mostly to be a little playful anyway. Sensual, was it? John lets out a soft chuckle. Sorry, couldn't resist when I saw you lost in thought. I didn't flex yet, and I am a man of my word. Besides, how could I lie when you seem to find me that entrancing? Oh, thanks. John chuckles again. You're awfully cute sometimes. Now, I wonder what kind of kiss this will inspire. This time you pay attention to John as he straightens his back and stands at full height. He slowly curls his biceps, turning his hands inwards towards his stomach, which in turn makes his chest flex. Yeah, I feel like it's safe to actually show. It's a powerful pose, which he holds for a few seconds before crossing his arms, keeping his chest and powerful forearms in your view. Good enough for you? More than so, thanks for indulging me. About that kiss, I think I might be looking forward to it more than you are. I'm ready as ever. You walk up next to John, and he expectantly moves his face close to yours. You start by giving him a little peck on the lips, a quick one. He looks surprised, and like he's about to say something when you go back in for a real kiss. While not as confident and authoritative as his kiss in the kitchen was, you have your own strategy. Your kiss is slow and sensual. Your lips explore his patiently. It's not a deep kiss, rather just a slow one, feeling the closeness. He puts his hand on your chin like he can't help himself and just holds it there, as if making sure you're there. As you break the kiss, he smiles a wide smile. Definitely worth it. You're right about not being a casual kisser. You're the competitive kissing champion. Would it be alright to cuddle a bit? Absolutely. You cuddle up in the couch, discussing the movie, mostly, for a while. Eventually, he walks you back to your room. As the two of you reach your room, he steps inside to say goodnight. Thanks for the night. It was nice. You reach up and give him a hug. After the night, you're feeling strangely confident. It's a weird kind of nice, but still nice. It was. I'm looking forward to getting to know you even more. And here I thought you only wanted me for my body. Sorry, I kind of objectified you, didn't I? I'm not going to say you're not attractive, but that's not it for me. Not for a second. It was a fun thing, and I like it when it's playful and not always so serious. But if you're feeling guilty, you could tell me something about me that you find interesting. I don't think I have to feel guilty to tell you that, if you want to know. But I have a question first, if that's alright. What's up? Do you think it's possible to build a healthy relationship with someone if you're sexual with them, while getting to know them properly? I've always thought that your partner should be your best friend. I think it is possible. Physical relations do create emotions for the other part, for most people. Now, if it's love or a different kind of attraction is a different story. Couldn't you technically just create fake love then, by being intimate and tricking yourself? In this scenario, there would need to be attraction from the start. If so, would the love created be fake? I don't think it matters either way. I think you can do both at once. What matters when making bonds and deepening a relationship is the history you share together. It steers towards what feelings one harbor for another. And there, it can be love or friendship, anything you need to build a relationship. The only thing you have to worry about is if you are happy in the relationship, regardless of set notions of how to start or what path to take. That's my take, at least. Now it's your turn to answer my question. What do you find interesting about me? You feel yourself blushing a little. As awkward as it sounds, I found you a little weird at first. John is listening carefully. The first time we met, you gave me a short introduction about the Firefly. It was quite clear it was a lot to follow, and you basically told me to just learn by doing here. Which has worked out quite well, honestly. I don't mind listening to you praising me. Right, I shouldn't sidetrack. But that's also one of the things I found interesting at the time. You kind of just knew what you wanted and needed. Bad puns, and even took a nap while supposedly giving me an introduction. Not a great example of what someone on Earth would do in a professional environment, but you were comfortable with it. I even felt comfortable enough to join you. Really, it's an aura of confidence, even though it sometimes shines through that you aren't that confident. Perhaps it's not your confidence that shines through, but your self-esteem, really. In reality, I'm more insecure than that. How would you put it? I'm only me. Remember the rambling when I explained how the Firefly works to you, like that? Sorry to interrupt. Wait, one last thing. Don't forget the part where you think I'm hot. I think I mentioned bad jokes already. Sorry, I guess you're rubbing off on me. That sparked some interest, because honestly, we're quite opposite in that regard. With how the words are flowing right now, I don't think you need to worry about that part much longer. If I'm allowed to say anything about it, I think anyone just needs to be around the right people to feel at home. This isn't really common for me, saying it all out loud like this. I'm more of a thinker, really. I keep my thoughts on the inside. And then, to continue my story at the museum, you showed interest with even a somewhat silly question, chocolate or vanilla, and you started flirting, right off the bat. But you tried to get to know me for real, without really forcing it. So from my point of view, there's an interesting depth to you, even if it's not all that serious. You're not just muscles. Well, I just definitely rambled. I hope I didn't say too much. Interesting take. I like it. I think you praise me a little too much, if I'm to be honest. Thanks for telling me how you feel and stroking my ego a little, Alex. Anytime, John. Fuck it, since we're stroking egos, why are you even interested in me? I'm just me. Unlike you, I'm not a thinker. Not really. So I hope I don't disappoint you with my answer. You're cute. You respond to my playful ways with being playful yourself. And I really enjoy your company. That's it, really. Well, if you don't count the part where you're offering to save your own daily life, where you're offering your own daily life to help us save Arctos. Thanks. Good night, Alex. Let's do this again sometime soon. Good night, John. As you finally get back in your room, brush your teeth, and get to bed, you can't help but wonder how your relationship with John will change after the night. He definitely seems to like you, and you like him by the look of things. As you close your eyes and rest, you can feel how exhausted you are. It's been a fun but long day. Now, how did your relationship change? I wonder what it'll be like if this doesn't work out. Can we still be friends? I hope we can. Preparing for failure already? Eventually you drift off to sleep. A deep sleep, relaxing, a good ending to a good day. Resting, pretending to be happy and safe. Satisfied after a day of being fed lies. You wake up suddenly. You hear an eerily familiar voice. Resting, pretending to be happy and safe. Satisfied after a long day of being fed lies. It's the voice again. The specter. You are nothing to them other than a hunk of flesh. Brought here to feed their desires, their wants. And then you will be nothing. Thrown aside. Worthless. You get out of bed and start putting your clothes on. Even if you know what it is, you'd rather not be alone right now. Trapped in a cage between two worlds. No escape, no safety. You think them your friends, but they are little else than bloodthirsty beasts, waiting for the chance to strike and devour you. There will be nothing left but bones and lost dreams. You dream of flying in space and exploring other worlds on wings that are not yours. I will catch you and break those wings. You will never fly. Instead, you will fall. Fall into a pit of despair and darkness. The endless dark, that will be your grave. The endless void of space. With no color and no future. But that does not scare you, does it? You, who had no future to look forward to begin with. Become nourishment for the beasts that have led you to destruction. At least then, you will be useful. And in that way, at least someone will want you. That's not true. John likes me. Do you truly believe that? You think back to the evening you just spent with John. I do. Do not kid yourself. You are nothing but another soul to add to their stream of death your so-called friends have built their legacy upon. This thing sounds like it's talking right out of a fantasy book. I guess that really is how my brain works, huh? As you exit the room, you spot John. He's a little out of breath, but smiles and slows down when he sees you. Are you alright? Whatever you're experiencing, it's got nothing to do with you, Alex. Don't start reflecting this upon yourself. John seems angry, but pulls you into a tight hug. He releases the hug and puts his hands on your shoulders as he speaks. Relax and focus on something else, Alex. Like how delicious the pizza we'll be making tomorrow is going to be. John closes his eyes and sighs. I'm about to start tearing the entire system apart and fix this. A Spectre should not be able to hit the Firefly with all the safeguards in place. Doesn't it seem a little drastic? We didn't bring you into outer space in order to subject you to inhumane weapons on a supposedly safe mission. Your navigator beeps. Someone's trying to reach you. You should answer. No need to worry people more than they already are. Alex speaking. Are you alright? I'm alright. A little shaken, but alright. I'm glad. I'll come get you in a bit. Will you be alright to stay by yourself for a little bit? I'm with John. I'll be alright. Good. You should be safe then. I'll call you again in a little bit and check in. This one is different than the ones I've experienced. I'm going to find Mike. Rex. Did it just say your name? You heard the same thing? That's new. When you were a boy, you dreamt of the stars. And what do you have now? You were told the sky was the limit, to not reach further. Yet you did, and what did you and the others bring back? Death and destruction, nothing else. Don't focus on it, Alex. I'll try. You thought yourself an adventurer, charting unknown lands and bringing in the future. In reality, you're nothing more than a virus, spreading your disease across the universe. You can hear soft whimper through the navigator. Your world died and the stars you reached for just watched. Did the stars weep for your world as its shine faded? No. Can you feel the grasp of death that you tried to push upon others? The tight feeling constricting around your neck? Crushing your air pipe as your dreams fizzle out like that last breath of air? This can't happen again. I'll make sure we take you back to Earth. The Fool has brought you here for nothing but death, and if we bring you to Arctos, he will be bringing death back to Earth as well. I'll fill these corridors with scarlet paintings before I let that happen. Scarlet paintings? Blood? There's something scary in Rex's voice, something that you don't recognize. I will come find you afterwards. Stay safe. You too, Rex. What starts a war? People? Dreams of glory and exploration? No, it is conquest. You take from others, you do not make it yourself. And that is your legacy. An atrocity, paid for in the blood of the innocent. Remember, O adventurer, it is not the war itself, but rather who is behind it. Alex, I need to catch up to Rex. You should come with. Something's gone wrong in the worst of ways. I'm also worried. I should call Mike and tell him that something's wrong with Rex. I don't know him that well, but this feels weird. Rex might be trying to do something to him. Rings for half a minute, but there's no response. He could be in trouble. Something doesn't feel right. I agree. Let's go. We'll figure it out on the way to the captain's quarters. As the two of you make your way out of the workshop, there's an anxious feeling you can't quite shake. It's like you're cold without feeling cold, like you're about to get a headache. Like that feeling when you wake up feeling as if you're falling. Someone could be in real trouble. With that thought, there's not any time to consider and think things through further. You can almost feel the adrenaline start moving through your body as the two of you start taking steps towards the captain's room. Your brain almost blanks as you keep walking. John isn't saying anything either, other than the occasional glances your way as if making sure you're still okay. As around the corner towards the corridor where his room is, you spot Mike and Rex. Mike is standing in front of Rex, blocking his way. Rex has his back towards you and John, and is slowly moving in towards Mike. Mike, you and Charles have basically killed him already, with promises of honor and adventure that you can never keep. Killed who? Rex turns around and notices John as he responds to his question. Alex, he's as good as dead if we continue. Alex, he's alright, Rex. He was with me the entire time. John slowly reaches Rex and puts a hand on his shoulder as if to comfort him. There's only pain in this future. A future filled with promises and honor and adventure that you can never keep. Atone for your sins and I'll take him back home. He shouldn't be trapped here, being led to his death by us. If he wants to go home, we'll make it happen, Rex. Calm down. We'll turn around if he needs to. He's not trapped here. Let's talk to him, together, alright? He's blinded by your promises of future. It's unfair. We can't drag another world down because of our mistakes. We won't bring him to Arctos. We'll get him to a world nearby and get everything set up. Then he'll be safe. Then he'll be back safe at home. John stands closely to you and puts his hand on your shoulder, as to reassure you. That's the trap. That's where he'll meet his end. Then I'll get on a shuttle myself and bring him home. Lies. Lies and more lies. I'm sick of it. I've never lied to you, Rex. Have you not? You said you would do everything you could to end the pain on Arctos, yet here you are, trying to spread it to another world. Rex, I would never do that. If you can't trust Mike, trust me. You know I'll turn the ship around myself if need be, no matter what anyone says. It's unfair. We can't drag another world down because of our mistakes. We won't. I promise we won't. We'll stop it together, alright? Rex turns to Mike again. You asked me, shortly after I joined your crew, what the worst thing that ever happened to me was. I did. You didn't have an answer at the time. I figured it out now. There's no one event, not even the end of my world. It's the culmination of all the past few years. Things getting worse and worse. More death and more pain all around me, and no way to stop it. No matter how much I tried. Eventually, things broke. I know, Rex, I know. There's too much pain. I'll never stop trying to help people and our world. Have you considered what would happen if Alex got stuck up here? Never able to return home? Do you not think Earth would retaliate? I'm looking to keep him safe as much as you are. I'm looking to keep everyone on the Firefly safe. That's why I need you to calm down. At this point, you notice that Rex is holding something. Let's talk this out and make a plan together, alright? Don't you get tired listening to those thoughts in your head? Those lofty ideals? It's time to just accept that our world has ended, Mike. Let's go down together. The others will take Alex home. You know I can't do that, and you shouldn't. We can still change the world. Rex, remember that it's not real. It's a specter. What matters is here, now. You, me, and the rest of the crew. No, what matters is the future. I know the flashbacks are not real, but I'm talking about the future. There's no end to the pain of Arctos. It was supposed to end there. Yet here you are, trying to spread it to another world. Things getting worse and worse. More death and more pain all around me, and no way to stop it. No matter how much I tried. Eventually, things broke. I had days where I was too tired to get out of bed. Felt too exhausted to end myself. Otherwise, I would have ended myself a long time ago. And yet, you haven't. Don't let today break you either. You sound like the preachers, Mike. I'll preach if it'll bring the hope you need. How can I believe in heaven when I've seen both hell and space that lies beyond heaven? The endless stars that even the goddess cannot change, and the pain they've caused. If the goddess exists, why does she allow this kind of evil to continue to exist? Rex, what's happened to you isn't something that should happen to anyone. We'll make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. Rex continues. It is as if he can't hear what anyone else is saying. And then there's you. Everyone seems to think that you're their daddy, and... Damn it. And then there's you. Everyone seems to think that you're their daddy, and you're no better. You can't fix everyone's problems. You just end up breaking more people and hurting everyone in your selfish desire to fix things that cannot be fixed. Arctos reached for perfection, but perfection is never meant to be reached. That's why the concept of so-called perfection exists. Instead, we're left with the broken pieces of our attempt. When will you stop trying to piece them back together? No, I will paint these halls in crimson if I have to. Before Mike can respond, Rex rushes towards him and lunges towards his side. Mike lets out a roar of pain and they tumble to the floor in a struggle. Before you can think about it properly, you're on your way towards them. Or so you would be if John didn't get in your way, moving faster. It would seem to be over in seconds as John reaches them, pulling Rex off Mike. Rex lands on the floor with a thud. Mike? Are you hurt? What can I do? Slow down. Be calm. He says that, but he's sounding stressed as ever. There's a red stain on his shirt right at his side, growing larger by the second. I'm just going to put some pressure on here. He puts his hand to his side. Help me flip him over. He moves to flip Rex over onto his back. John moves over and helps him slowly move Rex over. Rex's eyes are open. He's crying. Rex? It's alright. I got you. Mike maneuvers around and gets Rex's head in his lap, and leans himself against the wall. Rex, what happened? I've done something horrible, haven't I? His voice is shaking. I didn't mean to. The memories, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. He looks to Mike, and then to John. Finally, his eyes rest on you. Don't hate me. I never wanted to do anything like this. I got you, Rex. I don't want to be alone. You're not alone. Alex is here. Don't worry, Rex. I'm still here. Alex, I'm so sorry. Mike looks at you. There are tears flowing down his eyes as well. John moves over to you and stands behind you, hands on your shoulders. It's like he's trying to tell you that things are alright without saying it out loud. He knows it wasn't really you, Rex. I think I understand. I'm sorry, Rex. This probably happened because of me, didn't it? There's no response. Rex seems to have passed out. No, don't think that. Some people carry a lot of weight, and with that, something like the Spectre can have a devastating effect. In Rex's case, more than most. I don't know exactly what caused this, but I'll find out, no matter what. I have some ideas. Mike, I'll run them by you when the dust settles. Mike nods in silent agreement. There is a pause. This is my fault. He closes Rex's eyes with his free hand. I've put both him and you in danger. Let's discuss this when we've gotten him somewhere better to rest. He was right in a lot of things. If you need to go home, I'll get you home right away. Just say the word. Okay, I'll think about it. Thanks, Alex. And sorry. I'll be honest and say that I never expected something like this. I'm scared, but I don't think he was right. If you have something to fight for, it's not a bad thing to ask for help. I don't feel like I want to return home. Honestly, I don't have all that much at home. And the chance to change the world, your world, feels like doing something, you know? To be someone. Besides, I'm not all that vulnerable. I can handle myself somehow. You're a good man. You'll definitely manage to change the world. With that, you return to the infirmary, after making sure everyone's alright. John insists you stay close to him for the night. Too tired to argue and not seeing any point in it, you follow him to his workshop. It's kind of cute how protective he suddenly is. With what turned out to be a very long day, he leaves you the cot in the back of his workshop. It is as comfortable as he said, really. And despite everything, you find yourself falling asleep before long in his presence. The only thing that makes sense is, You stir awake slowly to the sound of John's voice. He's talking to himself while focusing. Cute. You open your eyes and slowly make your way up. Seems like he's putting his shirt on top of you to keep you warm as you slept. I'll consider it. Oh. Cute. Good morning, champ. Did I wake you? No? What time is it? Just about time for breakfast. Also, champ? You're not a casual kisser. You're the competitive champ. That's so bad that it's good. John gives you a wide smile despite looking quite tired. Hey, sorry for yesterday. I shouldn't have made you sleep here. I was just worried. Shaken, really. It's alright. I slept well. Thanks for sharing your nap spot, John. Good. I'll make it up to you. Oh? How so? We'll do something fun, something you'd never do back home. I'm pretty sure just being in space is one of those things. I'm glad you feel that way because we're going to go asteroid mining. That sounds more scary than a specter. It's a different kind of adrenaline, and all safe, really. I'll have to take your word for it. I can't promise it's something I'll be comfortable doing, though. We'll have to see. It's a sight. Max will agree. Where is he, by the way? I thought he mostly worked with you. Usually, but apparently someone gave him the gift of entertainment. Ah, right, the tablet. We'll have to drag him away from it later. We've got to finish making pizza. John says the last part with conviction. That's true. Now, if I recall correctly from before, you wanted to see what I do on the Firefly? Am I getting the full tour? There'll even be complimentary snacks. No, really. I actually baked something while working. Here. He points towards his table and there's a plate with a cover. He lifts the cover and offers you what appears to be cookies. And if those snacks aren't enough, there's always you. That was so terrible that it overshot the limit of bad and ended up being good. Again. What can I say? I'm not exclusively a pitcher. Okay, message received. I'll tone it down. It's alright. There's an awkward pause. I figure there's only one thing I'll need to show you. Here, come to this terminal. John moves aside and points towards the terminal he was working at. As you take a look, it's not unlike any computer interface you've worked with before. There's no mouse, just a keyboard. I'm pretty sure you could work your way through it if you learned some basic commands. Do /help for a list of commands. After that, I'm sure you got it. It's not too unlike most systems I saw on Earth. How about you try opening a map or so? Let me know if you have any questions. An idea pops in your head. It's not the smoothest move you've ever done, but this system seems easy enough, not unlike a certain engineer. Whoa. I probably have more questions about the engineer, to be honest. Smooth. Really, I couldn't have done it better myself. Something about being the champ and all. Jokes aside, I'd like to get to know you better. John thinks for a little bit. You can ask me anything you want as you figure out the terminal. Well, you can always ask me anything you want, but it might be more interesting like this. Alright. With that, tap in the help command and start figuring out how to start applications. It's fairly simple. Run program name and then /help in the terminal with the program running gets you pretty far. John watches silently. He seems pleased. I try to adjust the interface to be understandable for everyone. It seems to be working. It's great, although I'm not sure what half the applications are. Only one way to find out. I'd rather not break something on the ship by not knowing what I'm doing. Don't worry. Anything important is password protected. Of course it is. It was a stupid thought to begin with. John is no rookie. John turns away and gets back to his work while you look through the terminal a little more and start pondering what questions to ask, with the door open and all. I'm not sure if I should ask, but how's it going with the Spectre? Why wouldn't you? It concerns you as much as anyone else. I've gone through every system, and by all accounts, we should have noticed it far earlier than we did. If I didn't know any better, I'd say it's like it appeared next to us all of a sudden. That's a scary thought. There's some data I must be missing, so I'm going through it all again. Perhaps you being here will help. You are like my muse, after all. Your muse? I'm barely even a person compared to everyone here. Don't do that, Alex. You're too good to have low self-esteem. Champ. Feels all ridiculous, though. He values me way too highly. But it is nice to be sought after for once. Alright, I'm amazing. That you are. John looks back over this work. It's impressive how visible it is when he focuses. Part of the outside world seems lost to him as he mumbles to himself. He's pretty handsome when he's focusing like that. He's put his pen up behind his ear and he's scratching his chin. A small movement, still somehow very masculine. As if despite your thoughts, he spots you looking at him and raises an eyebrow questioningly. Any questions pop up yet? We're going to leave off here tonight. Honestly, I can't think of anything to say, so, stay safe, have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.